I'm Amanda from Modern Successful Parenting, and we're here to help your children spread their wings and fly through life. Today we're looking at social skills and those skills that the children need to be able to become successful young adults. Being able to play cooperatively with others is a big part of that, like building sandcastles together or building a whole Lego community, a whole Lego village together. Those sorts of things are important, and they start around about 3 years of age, working cooperatively with other kids, right up until 4 and 5 years of age, where they can play games with each other, board games, dice games, those sorts of things. Obviously, when they first start playing these games, they need supervision from an adult, but often it's a lot of fun that they can actually play with adults these games. I've seen 4 and 5-year-olds play an incredible game of chess. So don't think that they have to be really simple games. Raise those expectations. It just means that you will have to support them and teach them what the rules are, and it might take a little bit longer. But remember, building up those relationships and teaching them these games is a way of doing something together that you both really enjoy. One of the things I used to love doing with my kids is creating stories. And they then really enjoyed creating stories with their friends. And creating these stories builds a whole heap of different learning opportunities for them. It gives them the opportunity to play with storylines and understand beginning, middle and end, and the basic parts of a story, a problem and a complication, and then a solution to that problem, and then a climax, and all these things. And they will be talking about these sorts of things when they get up to school. But in these early years, we want them to have fun with stories, muck around with them, work out what they're going to do, what sort of storylines they can do, even if they don't have proper beginning, middle and end. It doesn't matter. They can actually create these. And role-playing situations is a way that they can start with those plays and those stories and start creating those stories for themselves. They love messy play, and please allow your children to have messy play. It's really, really important.
So what are some of these social skills that we need to remember? While we're teaching these skills to our kids, we need to make sure that we keep the same message. So repetition is really paramount. Kids learn through repetition, and they also learn through watching what's happening. So if you model the behaviour that you want, you'll find that the kids are more likely to follow what you're doing. Consistency is the most important part of parenting. I can't stress this more. It is the consistency of your message to the children that will make their lives a lot easier and your lives a lot easier. It stops the frustration, it stops the tantrums, it really makes a big difference. It doesn't matter where those boundaries are or what you have decided to say. As long as you are consistent in your message to them, you'll find that life will be so much easier for you. Now make sure that when you're teaching your kids that you give them the opportunity to make mistakes but then fix them. It's important that they learn to fix the mistakes themselves, and that they also learn different ways of being able to do things. Make sure that they have a safe place inside to play. When they're 2, they're going to start to learn to play on their own, and they really, really need a place that is safe, that they can go to, that has things that they can play with without the adult supervision. It's absolutely essential for their development. They also need different sorts of things to play with to help their imagination. Simple things like pots and pans, Tupperware, spoons, boxes, even recycling. It's fantastic for them to start to use a toilet roll, for instance, to be binoculars, or really they get into recreating objects and using them in lots of different ways. And this is so essential to their creative and innovative and imaginative play. They also need places for them to go that outside and inside to actually build that concentration and those problem-solving skills. If they're outside and they want to try and work out how to dig a hole, then they need to be able to have that opportunity to do it without adults coming in and trying to do it for them. It's important that they get time on their own to play and learn how to play on their own so that their creativity and imagination can develop. Playing outside is one of the most important parts and the best parts of being a kid. I'm sure you remembered running around outside and having a great time, being messy, digging up in the sand pit, making sand castles, digging out plants, planting plants, doing all these sorts of outside activities, running, playing on the playground. All these activities are so important. And as much as activity is really important for a healthy lifestyle for a child, rest is probably more important. Children need more sleep than what adults do. And your 2 to 5-year-old will really need at least 10 hours sleep a night, even if they have some breaks during the day and have some rests during the day. They still need to have those rests to be able to cope emotionally. Sometimes those rests will be sleep for some kids. My kids gave up their sleeps at 18 months of age. So we went through up until 5, but we would have rest time where we would quietly read a book, or we would sit and have a quiet chats together just during the middle of the day after lunch, just to try and rest and recuperate and let our brain give itself time to recuperate, ready for the afternoon where there was lots of fun activities. So make sure that your children get enough rest, and that way they will cope emotionally so much better than if they're tired and cranky. I'd just like to talk about singing for just a minute. Singing is one of the most easiest ways that children can learn any information. For instance, heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. If you sing that song, they will know their heads, their shoulders, their knees and their toes. It's that repetition of skills which is what really cements the skill in their head. And that repetition can easily be done by singing. Now, singing nursery rhymes are fabulous for little ones because the nursery rhymes are all about topics that they're really interested in, and they are very simple tunes. So make sure that you do, even if you're no good at singing, give it a go, have some songs, sing some songs with the kids. You'll find that they'll respond so beautifully to it. Put music on and have like the Wiggles on, or any of those early childhood songs. Song groups are really great for the kids to listen to. Disney is fabulous for the kids to listen to, and that singing actually will make a really big difference to their learning when they get to school. And when we're learning at home, we're trying to teach them how to dress themselves, to try and teach them to say their address. Some of the ways that you can do that is through song. You can sing it to them and they will be able to work it out. They know where the beginning and the end of a song is, so you could also sing a bit of a song while they're getting themselves dressed so that they know when they have to finish getting dressed. Another really important part to learning is to actually eat as a family together. Now, that may seem a little bit weird, but it really, really helps children to connect and to form those relationships with you and with the other people in the house. And by forming those relationships, then they're more likely to watch what you do, and you will model how to get dressed, and you'll model putting shoes on and things like that. And they will watch that more and more, the better relationship that they have with you. Now, when we're trying to teach our little ones all of these really important social skills, sometimes you say, how are we going to do it? I get so frustrated. They're just not learning it. It's not working, and they're getting frustrated, and it's all just getting in a big mess. Well, here are some strategies that you can use that really, really help them. One of the things is you keep really calm. The calmer you are, the more calm they'll be. So if you're going to get flustered and you're going to get upset with them and you're going to get them to rush through, it's probably easier if you do it for them, but that's not going to help them. They need the time to be able to sit there and do it again and again to get faster and faster. So if you're calm, they'll be calm and they'll be more successful at doing the skill, whatever skill you're teaching. Give lots of cuddles. So if they can't get it, just give them a cuddle and go, let's do it together. And by doing it together, you know yourself that it's easier to do something if someone else is doing it with you, or if someone else is supporting you. And that's what you need to do. And cuddles really help them to slow their heart rate down. It helps them to breathe deeply, and it really has that reassurance. And the other thing is to make sure that you keep them safe at all times. Now, that really goes without saying, but it's important that when we're teaching them new skills, even though we're focused on those new skills, that we do keep them safe and keep them away from harm during that whole process, because their minds will be totally on the skill that they're learning. Remember to build healthy routines. Routines are essential with little ones. It makes your life and their life so much easier. Read lots and lots and lots of books. Use educational toys, puzzles, blocks, stacking, sorting, all those sorts of things. And remember, kids love learning. It's not a chore for them. It's what they love doing. It's what they're built to do. So the more fun that they have, the more things that you tell them, they'll just soak it up. They're like a little sponge. And it's so wonderful to see them really soak up that information and then pass that information on to someone else. They say the best way of learning and knowing a subject is by teaching someone else. And watching your little one teach someone else one of the skills that they've learned, whether it's tying shoelaces or whether it's learning how to share, it's so lovely to watch them do that with someone else. So remember, keep those healthy routines going. I can't emphasize that enough. Healthy routines make a really big difference to the psychological and social aspects of your child. And what I find with kids is the best thing that you can do for them is to give them time to play. Children learn through play. They learn about social situations through role playing and through doing these situations again and again and again in their play. Let them get frustrated, but give them the support that they need after it. It's okay to be frustrated, and they have to learn that because they will be frustrated throughout their whole life. It never stops. It's just that at this age we need to really teach them that frustration is okay, but we have to work our way through it. Use those rooms that we were talking about. That really helps them get out of that frustration level and then be able to learn the next step or learn what they're actually trying to do. Help them work through their feelings with the red room and the green room and the blue room. Help them to take deep breaths and be mindful of what they know and what they need. The most important part of childhood is to have fun. Children laugh at least 300 times a day, whereas adults maybe 4 or 5 times. It's really interesting, the research that's been done on this. And their laughter is the most contagious thing ever, and it's wonderful to hear. So make sure that they have fun. Make sure that you're having fun with them and enjoy your time together, because I'm telling you, it goes so quickly. You might feel like it's gone on forever, but it doesn't. It goes very, very quickly. Thank you for watching Modern Successful Parenting. All advice and information given during this course is designed for general use only. If you have any concerns for your child, please seek professional advice as soon as possible. For terms and conditions, see website www.modernsuccessfulparenting.com.au. Thank you.